Okay, we're up and running.
All righty. Hey, welcome everyone to this special city council meeting held by Zoom on June 26, 2020 at 5:30 p.m. Let's do a roll call vote, and then we have two short business items after that. So Councilman McEwen.
Present.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Present.
Councilwoman Fillmore.
Present.
Councilwoman Meekum.
Present.
And Councilman Ince.
Present.
Wonderful. Looks like we have all five present. So we have two items on this meeting. One is the public safety tier 2 retirement contribution, the employer pickup selection. We were sent, there was a couple of things posted on this. Lisa, did you want to mention anything further on this since you had put out something recently, or?
I'll let Brant start, and then I can just make sure that the council has seen the red line version of the resolution.
Great. Brant?
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. So thank you for all of you taking the time to meet today on a special meeting. The reason for it is we were going to plan on approving this resolution the first meeting in July. This is based on our budget where we agreed to pick up the employee contribution based on Senate Bill 56 for the public safety officers. The issue in this, but what we read deeper into it, and we found out that we can't retro it back to July 1. We actually need to approve it prior to July 1 if we want it to be effective July 1. So we have the resolution and form in front of you, which is attached to this agenda item, on what we need to submit to URS to make it official. Just a little background information. Senate Bill 56, sponsored by Senator Harper, increases the tier 2 public safety retirement to become level in terms of contribution with the tier 1 public safety officers, which was an increase of 16.23% or 27%. But the agreement in the bill was 14% would be the employer contribution, and the employee was being asked to contribute 2.27%. It's up to the cities, each cities, to decide whether or not that is, if we're going to make it the responsibility of the employee, or the employer can pick up that 2.27%. And we approved in the budget 2 weeks ago, this week, sometime this year, this past week, that we would pick up that 2.27%. So this is the form just making that official.
Thank you for that, Brant. Lisa, did you have more comments on the red line issue for questions?
Yeah, so sorry for sending a late email yesterday, but I've just been researching this a little bit further and reviewing the IRS code, and we needed to put one more thing in our resolution that made it clear that these pickup contributions, could not be exchanged for any kind of cash or deferral. So I also reviewed the state of Utah adopted a similar proclamation or resolution regarding this, and they had that clause in there as well. So that was the change to section 2. And then I also just wanted to make sure that it was clear in the documents that we cannot apply these retroactively based upon the IRS code. They can only be prospectively from when you adopt it. So that's why we're doing this today.
And just one more item, Mayor, is if we commit to all at this point, that also commits the city to future increases. So if URS increases that from 2.27 to 3%, we would be committed to continue to pay for the entire amount. That's the commitment we're making today. If it gets out of hand, as far as the increases from the employee contribution that we're making up in this pickup, I would dare say that you'll see us clamoring as city managers and attorneys saying we'd like to talk about this again. But this is committing us to future increases as well, and we'll monitor that and update you in future budgets what that increase might be. will be.
Council, questions for Brant or Lisa, or comments?
No, I'm fine with how it's stated. I'd actually motion that we adopt resolution 2020-19 as prepared.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Just to be clear, that's the one with the red line changes.
That's what I meant. Sorry. As the red line prepared version.
Okay.
I
Thank
guess
you.
I have hesitation, but it's adopting something that we don't know what it is. But I guess as I see it, there's not a lot of choice.
When you say when are you talking about the red line version? That was an email.
No, we're adopting something that's subject to future change. We don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if-
District Council. Yep.
Now, I said, we don't have a lot of choice, but
Bill, I would share your concern, except for if there are future changes, then we can just adopt a new resolution to have the employer cover that percentage as it changes.
That's what we're looking, Lisa and I are looking into that at this point on if you can change that percentage. Cap it. I mean, right now, as a council, you can decide if you want to cap it at 3%, 5%, 10%, and we can put that in this form that's attached, the employer pickup election form.
Yeah, it's unclear to me whether you can change this. And so I think that's why we sent out the information from the URS as well, because, a lot of cities are trying to scramble and get this adopted by July 1st. But, in response to Bill's comments, this is a choice, but it has been approved in, this year's budget, but this is a voluntary pickup decision that the city is making.
Do you suggest, Lisa, that we put a cap on it? Because then we could always come back and take the cap off or higher. That we could do for sure.
I wouldn't recommend putting a cap on it at this point. URS is pretty conservative with their rates as it is. And I will point out, we're talking public safety, which means we're talking police officers. And in this time where we're at as a country, the maintenance of a good police force is going to be tougher. So I would hate to do anything that potentially puts them at risk of poor retirement benefit right now.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah, and I'm just hesitant to, it's not really legal advice. It's really a political decision to say that we want to pick up this currently 2% for the public safety officers. But, this is just an interesting statute where it actually obligated the employee to pay some of that contribution, which we don't have in the other scenarios of the URS.
Okay.
I would just comment, this is something that the fire board voted on and approved as well too on that level. So if there's no further discussion on it, then let's do a roll call vote. Councilman McEwen.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Aye.
Councilman Ince.
Aye.
Councilwoman Meekum.
Aye.
And Councilwoman Fillmore.
Aye.
Thank you. That vote passes 5-0. The second item on the agenda was the award of audit services. So on Tuesday, the audit committee met, and the audit committee is made up of Brant Hansen, Jake Smith, Marcus Arbuckle, myself, and Councilman Ince. And it was determined unanimously that we award the selection of the audit to Larson and Company. And so we are making you aware of the notice of that award. Was there any questions on any of that, the material that was sent to you?
So this is just the audit for this fiscal, or did we give them a contract for a period of time?
It'll be 3 years.
Sorry, 3 years, if you didn't hear that from Brent. It's a 3-year. contract.
And the purpose of extending it out a number of years is you get better rates. If they're preparing, it's a lot of upfront work your first year. And if they're only guaranteed 1 year, you'll be paying quite a bit more because each year they would have to understand our system. But after 3 years, we can reevaluate our situation at that time if we want to continue with their services.
No, I think it's great. And I've always been an advocate to rotate out your auditors to keep it fresh. So that term is fine for me.
There's people that on the audit committee that had interaction with Larson, favorable interaction, and we felt it was a good change at this point in time. Lisa, I need a motion on this.
Yes.
Okay.
I would make,
So there's not really a resolution number or anything, so I guess just the motion to award the audit services to Larson Company.
I would make a motion that we accept the recommendation of the audit committee and award the audit contract to Larson and Company for a 3-year period.
I'll second that.
Do we need the amount for this year? As part of the motion? Or just the award period?
I don't think so. Just issuing.
Okay.
It's stated in the information. I just didn't have it up to give it to you.
I have a motion. Do we have a second?
I seconded it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you did. Sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion appears to pass unanimously. Okay. Let everybody get to their evening. I will look for a motion to adjourn then.
So
A quick question, if I could, to Brant first. Did we get the inventory covered?
What Councilman Ince is referring to, you're talking about the inventory on the audit, right?
Right.
I don't know, Brant, what happened?
Did we get confirmation on that, Brant?
Sorry, repeat that. I actually had an unstable connection for just a minute and I missed the entire question.
Did we get the confirmation that they can cover the inventories?
No, not at this time. We'll reach, now that it's been awarded, I'll be reaching out to John Hatterley right after this meeting. Well, after I call you first, Councilmember Ince, and then I'll reach out to John Hatterley.
Thank you. Okay. You might
All right.
you might pull the mayor in on that too.
Will do.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you. Council meeting's adjourned. Have a good
Thank you.
weekend.